Let's move to more turmoil. We love turmoil this week.
Woo!
It's turmoil in the NFL, or I guess the lack of turmoil now.
Because we can't talk about our teams because they both suck. So we have to talk about Le'Veon.
So Le'Veon Bell, he did not report today at the 4 p.m. deadline. That means he will not be playing football in 2018. He will become a free agent, assuming the Steelers don't franchise tag him this winter. It would be hilarious if they did franchise tag him. That would be the ultimate fuck you.
Oh, man.
But it doesn't make sense when they have James Conner. But Le'Veon, he's going to sit out the whole year. He's a running back in the NFL in the prime of his career. Was it the right move for Le'Veon to hold out?
No, it was fucking dumb. I mean, I think it was kind of I'm standing up for everyone move now because he realizes, oh man, I probably fucked up. Because James Conner, look at that, he's having a great season. It's almost like the Steelers don't even really need Le'Veon Bell that much.
The Steelers are probably happy. They're probably glad.
They're elated that they have a guy on a rookie contract in the backfield that does almost the same things that Le'Veon did for 20th of the money. I think what Le'Veon did, I understand what he did. I understand he's a running back. Running backs get the short end of the stick in the NFL. It sucks. Man, you just missed out on a year of your prime, and was it $18 million?
I think it was 15. I think it was 15.5 because the Steelers got 15.5 million in cap space.
Okay, it was like because they were gonna franchise tag
Yeah, I
him,
think
weren't
it would
they?
have been 15.
Yeah, I mean, still $15 million. You're gonna complain about that?
He makes about 850,000 a game, and Connor makes 850,000 for the year.
Yeah, exactly. And now you've lost a year of your prime for a pretty selfish cause, honestly. I mean, he says he's doing it for everyone else in the league, which he is definitely sacrificing a lot to show that, hey, running backs deserve this. But how it looks to his team, it looks selfish. Other teams don't matter when you are screwing over your team. And I think, and with the earlier reports of the offensive line being angry with Le'Veon, people in the locker room being angry with Le'Veon, this has just come back to bite him in the ass. And I think it's unfair to Le'Veon in the sense that he definitely deserved to be the highest paid player in the NFL. I mean, that guy gets more touches than anyone. But he should have been smart enough to realize, oh man, after that first game with James Conner, he should have been thinking about the fact that he could very well lose his job. But now they don't even need him. So they could just let Le'Veon walk and he won't get a contract nearly as big because he missed out on another year of his prime.
Yeah, so, I have to disagree with you. I don't think it's a selfish move for two reasons. This helps the Steelers because now they have $15.5 million of cap space going into next year that they wouldn't have had otherwise. It's a big deal because they have a lot of high-paid players on their team.
He was not sitting out for them to get cap
No,
space.
I know. I'm saying, but you think the Steelers right now are happy because they found, obviously, if the Steelers didn't have James Conner, then they would have wanted Le'Veon Bell. But just the fact that James Conner is there, the Steelers like $16 million next season to work with. Hell yeah!
I'm not saying Le'Veon was selfish. I'm saying his team has viewed that as selfish. I said Le'Veon, what he's doing, yeah, he's standing up for guys around the league, and I feel his plight. But his team views at what he did as selfish. I didn't say what he did was selfish. I was saying his team has viewed what he's done as selfish.
Yeah, I mean, there were those rumors, but I mean, the crazy stuff comes out of Pittsburgh all the time.
That's
with
true.
Mike Tomlin.
But we did see that James Conner TD celebration earlier in the year when he overemphasized cheering with the linemen after the reports of the linemen feeling misappreciated.
Professional sports.
It's all mean girls talk, anyways. I'm just saying that he shot himself in the foot with this. Like, you continue.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And so going back to Bell's decision, I agree with what he did up until today. I think he should have reported today. You held out as long as you could. You made your point. The Steelers weren't budging. You weren't budging. After seeing Earl Thomas come back and break his leg, you have to understand why these players hold out. Earl Thomas was in the same position,
Oh,
but
man.
he said, you know what, I can't let the other 52 guys down in the locker room. He came back and broke his leg earlier in the season, and so who knows how much money Earl Thomas is going to miss out on. It could easily be more than 20 or something $1 million because that dude is a big time safety in this
Best
league.
safety in the league, easily.
So he's a heck of a player. But if you're Bell, I don't get when it came to the deadline today. Just show up because you made your point and you can't gain anything from here. One, you're taking away a season from your prime, and I get holding out because the whole goal of it is to minimize your injury risk. Well, what did you do? You missed, I don't know, what, 10 games, 11 games into the season. So, you took 10 games off your schedule. Well, that ultimately minimizes your injury risk. And then, two, you have James Conner already there. So it would have been easy for the Steelers to work Le'Veon Bell back, give him 5 carries, then 10, then 10, then 15, and then by playoff time, Bell is ready to get the ball 25 times and make a run. But if you're Le'Veon, you lost out on a ton of money. I think the statistic is he would need to sign like a 2-year, like, I don't even know, $30-something million contract to make up for the money that he's lost. And
he should have just went and got his money, man.
He's not going to get that. Yeah, I mean, he's on the franchise tag. I agree with him holding out, but when it came down to the last day and you knew the Steelers weren't going to budge, just show up because you have a chance to make a serious playoff run. If the Steelers go and win a Super Bowl this year, how does that make you feel? If you're Le'Veon Bell, you lost out on all that money, you lost out a year in your prime, you lost out on a great playoff run, and I don't know for the pending free agency what teams are going to think of Le'Veon Bell because he held on his team once. Who's to say he's not going to do it again? I doubt it, but if you're a team, that's a risk that you have to take, and you have to think about it if you're about to pay a guy $15 million a year to play football for you. So I think that's a worry that Bell's going to hurt his negotiation status going into next season. If he came back and he played great football in the playoffs, then he's going to hit the market. Obviously, the Steelers, they have Conner for cheap, so Le'Veon's not going to be a Steeler, but he could have at least come back. Maybe, obviously they couldn't trade him this late, but he could have come back and then showed that he's about the team, and then that would have helped him, gain more, better leverage in the negotiations for next season. If you're Le'Veon Bell, you took a fat L. It's a fat L for Le'Veon Bell, and it sucks. It sucks for us because he's a great football player as well. Le'Veon is one of the most exciting guys to see every Sunday. What he's able to do, he's 2/3 running back and 1/3 wide receiver out of the backfield. He's dominant. And it's unfortunate the way it ended, but the Steelers are the only winner.
I mean, going off what you said about he's gonna have to sign a contract next year, I think it just kind of hurt his cause a little bit more because teams are gonna look for any reason they can not to give you the amount of money that you think you deserve, and him not playing at all just did not help his case at all. They're saying. I don't think speculation should be taken seriously, but people are going to start speculating. Why didn't he just go ahead and just man up and just take the money in the middle of the season? Maybe they'll be like, oh, he could have maybe been hurt, or he's just a selfish player. That's what the speculation is going to be for Le'Veon when teams are looking at. It's not going. It could be the most unfair speculation, but they're going to look for any reason they can to not spend an exorbitant amount of money.
And there's also, I was just thinking about this. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, why would you not franchise tag Le'Veon Bell next year and then just trade him? Because, if you're the Steelers, the only bummer about this for them is they probably could have got a second-round pick for Le'Veon Bell, maybe a first, but probably a second. So they lost out on a second. Obviously, it's a win for the Steelers just for the fact that, you have a player that's playing almost as great as Le'Veon Bell for 1/10 of the money. But no, way more than one, like
It's
1/15th, pretty much.
Not even getting paid $1 million a year.
So if the Steelers franchise Le'Veon Bell, then Le'Veon finds himself in the same situation as he did this year. And does he come back and play for the $15 million? Does he, does he just sit out again? Like, that's what I don't understand. What's going to stop the Steelers from just franchise tagging him? If he showed up and played, then they couldn't franchise tag. I mean, they could franchise tag him again, but it would be an exorbitant number that they just wouldn't want to do. So then you'd be a free agent. Also, I don't know. I'm curious. Like, what if he showed up, was active for a game, and then like said, "Oh, I don't want to play."
That's a good point. Or you could just call it an injury or something like that.
Yeah, like and they just stashed him on IR. I get, would they get into a legal battle? Like, would they sue? Cause
I feel like it would just get too messy then.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a question I just, it's in a weird situation. I feel like the situation isn't gonna end. It's not just gonna be Le'Veon's gonna hit free agency and go somewhere else. If you're the Steelers, you should try and get value back for Le'Veon Bell, and one way to do that is franchise tag him. So we'll see what happens there. And I think that's also everything for Tar Takes tonight. We'll see you guys next time.